Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex Press here with Angler Sports Center, and it's your weekly fishing report. Let's get started. A couple reminders before we start. I know you guys have been waiting for this, and it's our Black Friday sales. Now, this starts Thanksgiving Day the 28th, and it goes until the 1st. But there's also a couple extra deals going on for Small Business Day, which is the 30th. A couple extra deals for local companies in the area. Lure companies and our store here. So now check that out on our website. The full details are going to be on our website. So Black Friday and Small Business Day are coming up, so definitely check those out. There's some hot deals in there for guns and rods and all kinds of stuff. So let's get started with the fishing report. For you guys still rock fishing out there in the bay here in the ocean, we'll get started with the bay report and what's going on right now. It's most of these fish are moving pretty far south. Hottest bite we got reports of this week was down at Chesapeake Beach, anywhere from like Deal down towards the mouth of the Patuxent. Those fish are slowly moving down south, and those were massive schools of fish. Fish anywhere between 25 to like the upper 30s. And a lot of those fish are just heavy fish. They're feeding heavily on bunker right now, so you're gonna see them eating good sized baits, anything between a 6, 7, 8 inch bait. So definitely upgrade the sizes of your jigs to maybe a 1 ounce jig with a 6, maybe even up to a 10-inch bait KD. I like to stay between a 7 and 8 inch bait. And remember, you're just pretty much going a little bit deeper now. You're pretty much targeting 25, 30 foot of water ledges, or even in the channels. They're just, all you got to do is find a bait and you will find a fish. So hot colors, just natural colors like white, that smoky shad colors, all those kind of colors are working perfectly right now. And sometimes you just got to contrast and get some of the chartreuse colors out there. So somewhere in the area here in Annapolis, your hottest bite is going to be still pretty much the mouth of Eastern Bay. Jigging, trolling, you name it, those are going to be the 2 tickets to kind of catch those fish. There is still some fish in shallow around these areas, but not too many since the water temperatures have dropped pretty drastically for the past week with this cold front. So most of your fishing, I will say, focus on a little bit deeper water in the mouth of the rivers out towards the main bay. So if you're fishing in this area, mouth of the Eastern Bay, Tolly's Bar, south of Thomas Point, like I said, you're pretty much moving south to find those bigger schools of fish where they're holding. If you're trolling, like I mentioned pretty much a week ago, that's the hot color there for you guys trolling. This is a 9-inch bait. You can start mixing in some 9-inch profile baits, especially if you're moving down south towards where those bigger fish are right now. You have fish coming in from down south, migratory fish, and the fish moving out. So that's going to be a good profile, but I would still suggest to keep some of those 6-inch profiles on your umbrellas, tandems, and all of that, and maybe mix a couple 9-inch baits in there, because that will work for you guys. So, like I said, for you guys fishing on the main bay, Chesapeake Beach towards Solomon's, that's going to be the area right now. You guys fishing down from the shore, it's steady bite. We've been getting a lot of reports from Sandy Point of a lot of keeper size fish between 20, 25 inch fish, anywhere from Sandy Point, Mattapique, and Romocoke. So those areas have been hot. Finding cut LY, fresh if you can find it, and peeler crabs are going to be the best baits for those, and a couple blue catfish mixed in the area with that. Perch are moving definitely deeper now, so that's going to be more of throwing using bloodworms, and if you're on a boat fishing around oyster bars and finding those schools of white perches stacking up in 15-20 foot of water. Now let's switch over to what's actually going on right now, which is pretty hot, and that's the pickerel, yellow perch fishing. You name it, up in these creeks here in the Annapolis area, you're finding a lot of different species right now. Largemouth bass, there's some crappie in some of these upper parts of the creeks. Yellow perch and pickerel primarily. So we got some stuff here for you guys to kind of take a look at here. And this is our the famous Gambler Easy Swimmers on a little bit smaller profile, and this is going to be the Little Easy. We have them on a couple different colors. This is just 2 of my favorite. That's that white chartreuse tail, and that's like a churple color. They're great lures. And then we also got a little house-made inline spinner, the little famous inline spinner there for pickerel now with a little bit smaller blade. 1/8 of an ounce swim bait, Gamakatsu swim bait hook, and that easy You see a little swimmer in there. That'll be great for fishing around structure there, guys. For yellow perch, I mean, you're talking little jigs with those famous bussin' bait stingers. Put them under a bobber, just jig on the bottom. That's going to be perfect for you guys. Something different, a little underspin. I don't know if you guys use some lead or not, but that's just a jig head with a blade underneath. That's going to, buy you some more bites when you're fishing in shallower water for pickerel. And one of the favorites here around here for live bait is a little Tony Spoon 13 with a minnow on the back. Cast it out and just reel it in, and that will catch some fish. And if you're trying to just get some bigger bites, some bigger pickerel, 13 Fishing, I know Mike talked about him last week. This is one of my favorites. Just looks like a little shad. It's a really realistic profile, and you will catch fish on those. Now let's talk about the areas where the fishing's been pretty hot, and that is the Magothy River. It seems like that rivers come back, and there's a lot of fish between, pretty much 15 to like 20, 23-inch fish, and it's a steady bite. So if you're fishing from shore, just cast out some lures around the piers, and you'll find some fish. If you're on a boat or kayak, just move along the shoreline and stay pretty much shallow, anywhere between 5 foot of water, casting to the shorelines, and you will find fish. Yellow perch fishing, like I mentioned, is just a bobber and a minnow, or a couple of these little stingers here, and fishing the same areas. So I will say the upper parts of the Magothy around Gibson Island will be some of your best areas. The Severn River itself, if you can get access to any of those areas in the upper part of the Severn, around Round Bay, Ballantyne Creek, and all those areas up from there, that's been a steady bite. And of course, you guys fishing all these ponds and stuff in the eastern shore, like Tuckahoe Creek, Tuckahoe Lake, Y Mills. All those areas right now are pretty hot with, pickerel, crappie, and bass. It's time for them to feed and get ready for the winter. So definitely check those areas out. Last thing is just the ocean bite. I know this past week a lot of guys were catching keeper size and good sized rockfish off the Route 50 bridge in Ocean City, and a lot of tog. I even saw a whole bunch of speckled trout being caught off the Route 50 bridge, and that's pretty impressive, and some little puppy drum right now. So all those fish are exiting out. This is going to be definitely the week to go and try to catch them if it's not too windy. So that's it for your fishing report, guys. Remember, go to our website, check out our deals for Black Friday and Small Business Day, and that's it. Send us your pictures, tag us, give us a like, give us a follow, and you guys have a good one.